And now it's time for Windy City Sports Talk. And your host, Ryan Young. Hello, Chicago! Welcome to this live edition of Windy City Sports Talk for this Wednesday, September the 14th. I am Ryan Young. I am not alone. I am joined by usually it's the king of controversy, so that almost slipped up. He's Papa Shango. He is the Big Galoot. He's Willy Wonka.
And I'm glad to be here.
Are you really?
Absolutely.
It's your final day here.
And I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
Okay, folks, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got stuff to recap from last night. We got stuff to update you on from today. We got stuff to preview for tomorrow.
A lot of stuff going.
So a lot of stuff. We have a half hour. Welcome aboard. Appreciate everyone that listens. Please comment. You can follow me on Twitter at ringside_rep. You can like me on or follow me on Facebook and all that fun stuff. Let's start off by Cubs-Cardinals Game 2. If the Cubs win this one, today's game would be interesting, and they could clinch the National League Central in St. Louis. While Jason Hamill was pitching, that's pretty much all I got to tell you about that game. Cubs take an early 2-0 lead. Fowler hits a home run early. They chalk up another one, making it 2-0. Then two two-run homers, one by Diaz, one by Brandon Moss, off of Hamill. And the Cubs lose this one, and after that you knew the air was out of the tires of this game. And the Cubs lose this one of a final of 4-2. They lose Game 2. Focus on Game 2 before we get into anything into Game 1.
Okay.
Your thoughts on this game overall. We talked about Jason Hamill. You thought you had faith in him. Your thoughts after his game last night.
First of all, I have to give you kudos for making the right call. I made the wrong call. Second of all, I don't mind eating a lot of crow, unless the feathers are red.
Now let's see here. You know how I like to. I'm Mr. Stats Geek now. I'm going to give you some totals here and see exactly, because you said he didn't pitch bad except for 2 bad pitches, and he even said it on his interview yesterday, following the game, that he did not pitch bad.
No, I didn't think he. Two mistakes. It's all
let's see here. Hamill at St. Louis, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. That's actually fairly good.
Well, I try to tell you that, but you don't want to listen.
But who got the loss?
I already ate red crow.
Now, of course, with the Cardinals, it was Brandon Moss doing the dirty. He was able to get that going. So I mean, overall, it was a game that the Cubs fans wanted to see him win, because they wanted that sliver of hope to be able to celebrate in St. Louis. And of course, there's still a chance they could be popping champagne at Busch Stadium, because there's not out of the realm of possibility these two teams meet up when it matters most once again. And of course, we know what happened last year when these two teams met up in the National League Division Series. The Cubs right now, of course, with that, the magic number stays at 3 at that point. So the best that they could do with a win today and a win tomorrow night, they could clinch a playoff spot going into, or they could clinch the National League Central by Sunday, or by Thursday night tomorrow with a win. And also there was some travesty going on in the San Francisco game. The Giants were up 4-1 in the 9th inning last night and blew it to, gave up 5 runs in the 9th to the San Diego Padres. Let's take a look at your wild card standings. The Mets also won last night.
They keep winning.
They do. Right now, San Francisco, with the Mets win, they're only a half game behind the Giants for that number 1 spot. And of course, the number 1 spot hosts that 1-game wild card. That, of course, will be taking place on October the 4th or October the 5th. St. Louis still a half game back, so if they can get a win here, they're only a full game behind the Giants. So if the Giants lose, the Cardinals are going to lose also, it looks like. But Cardinals are still in that race. The Marlins can't catch a break. 5 games is a lot at this point, don't you think?
Big time. There's no making up at this time.
So you think for the National League wild card, it's only Giants, Mets, and Cardinals?
That's it. And it will probably end up being the Mets.
You said it today. You want the Mets to...
As I spit red feathers out of from my throat I'll say it again. I reiterate that I'm sorry about what I said about wanting to clinch it here in St. Louis.
Yes.
Let's inaugurate the new
I like to say
house.
this again. The clubhouse.
Let's inaugurate the new clubhouse with a lot of wetness and a lot of champagne.
Let's make sure that smell stays in.
And it's not only about being a homer. It's just the way I think it's meant to be. I wanted to get it over quickly, but you know what? So much sweeter at home. It always is.
It is. But would you have enjoyed it being at Busch Stadium, though? A little bit?
I said it yesterday, and like I said, I'm still pulling feathers up between my teeth. And they're red ones.
Not in our lifetime.
Not in my, oh, don't get on a T-shirt.
Okay, so we got that as Dad, get back here. Do we need to get a mini fridge here on the set?
No, I'm fine.
I don't think so. But anyway, so the Cubs last night lose last night. So now let's shift gears to the south side of Chicago. Dad.
Now I get kudos.
So now when you look at what happened last night, the White Sox are officially in the Guinness Book of World Records. Last night was bark at the park at the Cell. It's like right now it's Peeny's joining us here on set.
You have to bring your dog to a ballpark?
Yes, so anyway, they broke a Guinness Book of World Records. The White Sox are in the title with 1,122 dogs. I don't think they've had an attendance that big this year.
Was that the count of the dogs or the fans?
The dog.
How many?
1,122. They broke a world record.
Boy, I hope they all put their paw high and give everybody a high five.
Aw, get the doggy biscuits. So you got that.
I'm mean. I'm terrible, I know.
So, okay, but besides that, the Sox decided to have a 7-run sixth inning. They win this one of a final of 8-1. Quintana got the win. By the way, the Cub game, Reyes goes to 2-1. Hamill gets a loss at 14-9. Reyes did a tremendous job coming out of the bullpen. Jaime Garcia pitched terrible, but still was able to get the. And then, but Seager's got the save. And then for the Sox, they're winning 8-1. Quintana goes to 12-10. Bauer gets a loss at 11-7. Are the Indians? The Indians still have a pretty good lead in the Central.
Have to backtrack on
the
that.
Tigers lost last night, so that really don't mean anything.
I don't know. Now you know when you get to this point of the year, it's all about attrition. Who's got the muscle to go through the last hardest weeks, the dog days, the hardest weeks to win, to get to the point where you're in it. And this shows if you're good or you're bad.
Definitely. So, of course, again, they're getting hot late. I mean, it's not like it matters, but, of course, it's going to, when they have, I believe they have one tonight, and they also have one tomorrow against the Indians, and the Indians still have a 6-game lead in the American League Central, which probably is good enough to probably, the Tigers and Indians, I believe, do have one more series, and I think for the Tigers to even have a chance, they'd have to probably sweep that series.
It seems to me who's ever in that, you're talking about Tigers and everybody else, that the team from the other division is going to be the one to beat.
Definitely. So you're saying I want to see Texas-Toronto get a matchup together. That'd be fun.
You know how I feel about Texas.
I know. I was in that stadium earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. It reminds me of U.S. Cellular. Boston, what do you think of a Cubs-Red Sox World Series?
I don't think it's going to happen. I watched Boston the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and they're showing me they're not coming through like they used to come through. They don't seem to have it.
Baltimore is only 2 games out. That division.
There's a team right there. It's got a lot of hitting.
They're also leading the wild card right now.
Right, a lot of hitting there, and there's your surprise team. I think could upset the apple cart and put Baltimore in there.
Okay, so right now Baltimore has a half-game lead over Toronto for that first spot. And then Detroit, and we'll give you a Cubs update in a minute, but they're continuing to score here. We'll have an update after the Windy City Sports Minute. Detroit has won 1.5 games out. Yankees 1.5 out. Seattle's won 7 in a row. You still believe they have a fighting chance here in this wild card?
How many are they out?
They're 2 games out.
Anything's possible.
But no, we haven't even talked about them at all.
We talked about Cano.
Don't you know?
But, like I said, Baltimore, they got the hitting. That's just... And got some... I think they got good pitching, too.
Aw. Poor Randall Grichuk. Bless his heart.
You're going live here?
But we'll talk about that in a minute, of course. So, again, the Sox win 8-1. The Cubs lose 4-2. Cubs looking for a series win. Sox looking... We're going to be previewing and all that fun stuff. Okay, so... And, of course, now they're really pounding on it. We're going to have an update of this after the Windy City Sports Minute, which begins right now. This is your Windy City Sports Minute for September the 14th. It is a Wednesday. Cubs lose Game 2 of 3 in St. Louis of a final of 4-2. Of course, 2 two-run homers given up by Jason Hamill. The magic number remains at 3. Sox win Game 2 against the Tribe 8-1 as they continue their pounce of the Cleveland Indians. Game 3 will be a little bit later on tonight. Sox and Indians will be at 7 p.m. on Comcast Sports. The Cubs, on the other hand, playing the finale of the series in St. Louis right now at Busch Stadium. We will have an update on that game following this Windy City Sports Minute. By the way, the 2017 schedule is starting to come out for Major League Baseball. Cubs will be on the road at St. Louis to start the season. The White Sox will be home to welcome in the Detroit Tigers. Opening day expected to be Monday, April the 3rd. That is your Windy City Sports Minute. Now back to Windy City Sports Talk.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, well, I'd buy you an exotic pet, yep, like a llama or an emu. And if I had $1 million.
Welcome back here to Windy City Sports Talk. That was your Windy City Sports Minute. A couple things I want to talk about first before we get into Cubs and what's going on with them right now in St. Louis, and of course the Sox later on tonight. So first things first, I want to talk about Jason Hayward. He's had struggles over the last couple of days, actually the last year. And fans don't take a liking. And you know how you like to read the comments? Well, I found a couple funny ones. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, first one. From Rick Blue. Geez, Hayward again? What does it take to get him out of there, Joe Madden, for one game? Not even a left-hander last night can prevent the $184 million man from stinking up the joint.
Okay.
The second one. Wonders if Hayward has members of man's family tied up in his basement. I like that. Oh. Hayward has struggled, but like I asked you earlier, if he goes all year, continues to struggle, but gets it done in October, are you satisfied?
Let me say this. Jason Hayward has an astounding supporting cast. Everything doesn't hinge and ride on Jason Hayward. A plus would be for him to get hot at the right time. But you know what? His defense is good, as is the rest of this team. I don't find a weakness in defense on the whole team. He's a big part of it. I understand his numbers are paltry. They're paltry. But, like I said, a surrounding cast, a good man, he's on the right team. You gotta love it.
Question or one. This is kind of not a sad story, but an inspirational story, I guess. Dak Prescott, the quarterback, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this story. Before his NFL debut, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott sent his mom a text message. He often texts his mother before big moments in his life. Many people reach out to their parents in these times. But what makes Dak's story different, his mother Peggy died from colon cancer in 2013. Since then, he has made a habit of writing her during important moments in his life. He stated, "That's the moment I do look back and I kind of say to myself, see where I am in life," said Dak, who chose number 4 because his mom's birthday was September 4th.
I think that's beautiful.
That's great.
You don't hear a lot about stuff. It's a good story.
Inspirational story.
Very,
I always wish the best for guys like that, and Dak Prescott in his first year and getting a chance.
It's always about mom.
Besides that, getting a chance to he shouldn't even be the starting quarterback, really, but he's getting an opportunity, at least for the first half of the season, with Tony Romo. Okay, I wanted to read that story. Okay, now let's shift gears to what's going on in St. Louis. And the feathers are flying. As of right now, early on in this ball game, you saw Lester get a line drive base hit, making it 1-0. Then Grandpa Rossi hits a 2-run homer into the berm, makes it 3-0. They added another run, making it 4.
And he threw out 2 guys at second.
Randall Grichuk just dove for a ball, went all the way to the wall, made it 5, and then Rizzo just left the yard for the second time today already. His 30 and 31st home runs of the season. That makes this game a 7-0 lead. And can we already get ready for that magic number to go down to 1? Or is this going to be another... Are they bringing Hamill in?
Don't even go there. Leave him alone.
What about Hector Rondon? He's in the ball game right now.
Whatever. You need some work. For a powerhouse team, you got guys in the back end that are coming back off of the injured list. Get them ready for the big time.
So
they will be.
So as of right now, it is 2 outs.
I sound like a homer, don't I?
Yeah, you're Hawk Harrelson-esque, I told you earlier.
What? I've been waiting a long time.
I know, and you still have to wait. This isn't all guaranteed, you know.
Well, you know what?
What?
The way I feel, the way my confidence is, there's not much in my way.
You don't think so?
I do not think so.
Cubs right now with a 7-0 lead. So do you say now, and I knew this was going to happen, and I'll ask you again, do you see them closing it out tomorrow?
Without a doubt.
So, but, okay, here's another question. Will they close it out will they close it out winning, or will they have to wait for the Cardinals to lose in San Francisco at midnight?
Now they'll take care of business against, what is it, the Brewers?
Yes, it'll be Michael, what the hell's his name?
I don't know.
The guy for the pitcher. Our starting pitcher. The guy that Mike Montgomery, is that it?
That I like.
And he'll be going up against...
Last time out against the Brewers, he pitched some good innings, struck out 6 at their place, so I think he'll be pumped up to make a new addition, as he is, to the Cubs, and put his stamp on this team also.
Indeed, and there is 1 out in the 9th inning. Cubs have a 7-run lead over the Cardinals, looking to win before they get ready to head home. Cardinals will go to San Francisco, do battle with those San Francisco Giants, who had lost a definite heartbreaker last night. They're in action right now in their finale against the San Diego Padres. Interesting notes before we'll keep you updated on the Cub game before we get into the Sox talk. But the 26, as you heard me say on the Windy City Sportsman, the 2017 schedules come out already, and usually at least I am usually looking forward to the next season because usually there's nothing left to the season they're in. But obviously this year not the case, as they have they're probably they're 2 wins away from clinching a division title. But you look at this, you have what this team has when you look into next season. Of course, next season could be very special because they could be celebrating something very big. They will open up the season Monday, April the 3rd at where they're playing right now, Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And, of course, next week, or then the following that, they'll go to Milwaukee. And then they'll open up the home portion of their schedule on April 10th, which is, I believe, a Monday or a Tuesday, against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So that is what the Cubs are looking at. On the other side, for the White Sox, they're going to welcome in the Tigers to start out the regular season. The Cubs, interleague-wise, will face the American League East. They'll get a chance to go to Baltimore. They'll go to Baltimore, Yankee Stadium, Fenway, and then they'll bringing in and Tampa Bay. So they'll get to go to Joe Maddon's old stomping grounds in late September. Boston is in beginning of April, and New York's in the first week of May. So you got all that, and then for the Sox, they'll be facing the National League West. They'll be going to places like Colorado and Dodger Stadium. And of course, they'll be welcoming in the Padres. So it's always interesting to look ahead, but still a lot more exciting stuff to happen before that. Matt Carpenter up 2-2 count. Okay, now let's shift. So now that the schedule thing's out of the way, let's talk about them.
Thank God.
I love looking at the new schedule because I like to plan.
Thank God it's out. Next year's schedule's out of the freaking way. Because you know what? There's no schedule on my mind, but now I don't care about next year's schedule.
Well, we used to have to. That's all we used to be excited about.
Not today.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about...
Wait a second. Not in my lifetime.
Okay, Sox-Indians Game 3 tonight, 7 p.m., Comcast Sportsnet. It'll be Tomlin at 11 and 8 versus Carlos Rodon at 7-8. But no, okay. But you saying this, are the you called it yesterday. You said the Indians were going to lose. Are they losing again today or tonight?
It's very possible. Everybody does the fold show. This is the time of the year when you show what you got and what you ain't got. And right now, it's all about attrition. Guys that get hot at the end of the year are the guys that go. I've seen it many years of my lifetime. You get hot at the right point of the season, you go. Or you don't show.
So, but are the Indians? Is this the typical Cleveland thing? Are they choking?
Unless they've got a big lead.
They do. They have a 6-game lead right now.
Well, they're on a downside. Not a way to go into it. Not a way to go into the playoffs. Not a way to go in.
And Cleveland's been very good all year. I mean, you got such a talented team there with Jason Kipnis.
They've been great, but not the time now. You don't come in here right now and go against the White Sox.
And if you can't beat the White Sox, last night they probably lost because there was 1,200 dogs barking and shit all over the place.
That's another story.
But as right now, Matt Carpenter putting up a fight as that game, bottom of the ninth inning, Cubs are up of a score of 7-0. They're looking to lower that magic number down to 1, where pretty much they hold their own destiny.
I've never seen this many empty seats at St.
Well,
Louis.
they get a little bitter there in St. Lou.
Well, but look.
That's Joe. Of course, that game, if you're not, can tune in on ABC 7.
Big man.
That's Hector Rondon. Carlos Rodon's pitching for the Sox tonight.
Look at this.
There's a ground ball to first base. Handoff Rondon, and then that's 2 outs. Okay, so the Sox the Sox tonight face Tomlin, and of course that's Game 3 of 4. Game 4 will be
predict another White Sox victory, easily.
So I'm talking about they have a game tonight, and they have a game tomorrow afternoon that'll still be going when I'm live on. Here by myself.
They're playing against Tomlin tonight, right?
Yes. 11-8.
White Sox victory.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Why is it absolutely?
Because Tomlin sucks.
He's 11-8, 485, but you're saying Carlos Rodon's would be able to get the job done?
Fighting for a contract.
I don't know.
I've told you about that.
Oh, look, Jeremy Hazelbaker.
Sounds like fall.
Sounds like someone should be opening up a bakery.
Sounds like fall. We are in fall season.
Not yet. I think that's a couple of weeks away.
Hazelnuts, I'm sorry.
I think we're a week away from fall. My favorite time of year.
Mm-hmm. Just like the Cardinals are falling from a tree.
Oh, geez. Where you get up more than a guy with hemorrhoids.
Well, sometimes you have to when your team is the best team in baseball.
Okay, I got a question for you as this game ends, as you wander away.
Okay.
They were talking about this on one of the shows I was watching this morning. You did this Monday, so it piques my interest. Do you only stand for the national anthem when you're at the game, or when you're sitting on your couch watching a game, you should be standing up for the anthem? What is your thoughts?
My personal opinion of the national anthem? I think you've been with me a few times here just watching.
I mean, for the big days like the Super Bowl and that, but I mean, if a random Wayne Messmer sings a stretch on a Tuesday in July, are you standing at home?
I always feel I want to stand for the greatest flag in the greatest country in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to take a moment real quick. Congratulations to the Chicago Cubs. They win today of a final of 4-0 or 7-0. Their magic number down twisted to 1, and that's a big one.
Very big. Pretty much was in the cards. Pardon the pun. Pretty much in the cards.
Will that one be will that be on the Kenosha News tomorrow?
This one?
They don't cover the Cubs anymore.
No, the Brewers are out of it. They don't want to cover anything.
How dare them? But so a big win for the Cubs. They win that one. That's a final 7-0. What's going on? And right now, currently, Nationals in the first inning. Nationals Mets no score. That of course reflects the wild card.
Going on.
It is, and of course,
the wild card.
And of course, I'll be giving you updates along the way as we get ready for a very fun final 2 weeks of the Major League Baseball season. Okay, Sox Indians tomorrow. That game will be going on as we start the show. Sox Indians game 4. That'll be at 1 p.m. Central on Comcast Sports, and it'll be Clevenger at 2-2 with a 5.01 ERA against James Shields at 5-17 and a 6.01. Does James Shields have a shot to finally get a win for the Southsiders?
James Shields, to me, if you're going to put on an audition, I don't think you're going to get many takers. Not this time of the year. I mean it. I'm all for doing good at the end of the year. He had his chance to prove himself to the White Sox, and he failed miserably.
Yeah, definitely. So,
done.
It is. It's done.
He's done.
So now, now Jacob DeGrom, or no, that's not Jacob. Who the heck is Gesselman?
Lesman. It's the guy you might want to pick up. Good pitcher.
So the Sox. So I mean, James Shields. I think he's a guy that I don't really see. I mean, is this a one and done thing? I don't think he's there next year, is he?
Oh, not unless you're goofy.
Well, Jerry Reinsdorf, Kenny, what's his name? Kenny Williams, Rick Hahn. I mean, you never really know. Is
he in for more than a 1-year contract?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. He might have taken the deal from San Diego.
If they were smart, they kept him for 1 year to show what he could do, and that's it. If they're sucked in for 2 or 3, they got a big problem.
Yep. So tonight, that is tomorrow afternoon. Of course, I'll give you live updates of that game as well. I'll be solo tomorrow. Papa Sean, the Big Galoot, will be out of studio, or he could be here flapping his gums, and he might be. Actually, he might be here tomorrow because it depends what happens.
It's a possibility I may make a cameo appearance later in the show.
Jesus Christ! Okay, Richard Gere, you don't need to make all your frickin'. You don't need to make cameos. You're either here or you're not. I don't do cameos. This is a half-hour show.
You want me or you don't. I don't.
Well, do we need Dottie on the potty?
No, we don't need that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We have 2 minutes remaining in this one.
Murphy's up, by the way.
Cub Killer.
Yeah, let's meet them again.
Sounds exciting. So again, like the Cubs Magic number 1, and of course we'll be previewing that game tomorrow, which could be. I bought my own champagne, which is non-alcoholic. I did it for the playoff run last year. A sparkling grape juice. Welch's. Not everything has to be alcohol, you know.
No, well, if I had my choice, I'd be having a nice bottle of Corbel.
What's that?
Best champagne in the world.
Is that what they're going to be spraying in that clubhouse?
But I would spray it on a room. That's just spraying it down my throat.
Well,
that's good stuff.
Alcohol don't go to waste here in the studio. That's one thing that
not at $15 a bottle. The fuck! I'm not putting it over the top of the ceiling. I'll be drinking it.
Okay, we'll see what'll happen. Tomorrow's episode will be live again. Papa Sean, the Big Galoot, might be here. We'll decide later.
I'll try to get back here.
We're gonna recap Sox Indians game 3, update game 4. We're gonna preview Cubs Brewers game 1. The Cubs will have the opportunity to win the National League Central tomorrow night. And we'll see. And of course, tomorrow will be my last live episode, I think, until probably late. What would it be? Late? Or probably all next week, I believe, are going to be recorded episodes. But I appreciate you because I have to work all week. So please, hopefully you listen.
I want to thank you as what could be my parting.
Yes, hurry up. We got 30 seconds.
Is to thank you for bringing me along. I enjoyed it tremendously. You're my son. You're a guy who's going to make a lot of waves in this field, and I'm so proud of you that I can hardly stand it.
Thank you very much, Papa Sean, and you might be back tomorrow, so I might have to say that all over again. But anyway, that's Willie, I'm Ryan. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, Chicago.